So now that I have everything that I want to bring with me, I thought I'd make a video showing you exactly all of the products that I'm taking along with me. This may help other people that are trying to go on similar trips, or you just may be curious as to what I am bringing. So I broke it down into different sections. So we'll start with clothing, and then move to camping gear, tools and motorcycle accessories, documentation and paperwork, electronics, and then miscellaneous other, and I think then some medical as well. So let's get started with the clothing. I actually have a lot more than I think, and I may need to cut down a lot because I'm just not sure. I'm trying to think of every environment that I'm going to be in. So I don't know if it's better to plan everything now or wait until I get to those areas and then buy the items that I need. Anyway, I went with two pairs of pants from Rohan. They're pretty versatile and lightweight. What I love about them is they're kind of stretchy and they look nice, and yet they're still pretty good for rugged terrain. I have a simple windbreaker. I think it's polo. I'm not sure of all the types of temperatures that I'm going to be in, and I don't want to have just one big bulky jacket. I want to be able to have something lighter as well. So I have a jacket here. I don't know, what is the brand? That's Nordic Track. I actually wear this during the wintertime. It turns out pretty good. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Abley Apparel. I think it was kickstarted, successfully kickstarted. Anyway, their material is actually pretty nice. It is water and stain repellent. So you could pour things like wine and chocolate sauce, ketchup. It really doesn't matter. It'll run right off it. It's actually pretty good material. So I have. That's one shirt. I bought several shirts because I don't know how often I'll be able to do laundry, and these are supposed to be odor resistant as well. So if I wear these the majority of time, I think I should be okay and not stink as much. This is a Champion shirt. It's a little bit, I think it's all nylon. I was just thinking of something that I might need for colder weather. So it was two shirts for, no, I'm sorry. Here we go. So I have 3 Abley Apparel all together, I believe. Yeah, the two black shirts. One was short sleeve and the other one was long sleeve. This one was the long sleeve one. And then this one additionally is long sleeve as well. So hopefully these are what I use the majority of the time. What I like about them too is they're really light. It's just another long sleeve shirt. I feel like I'm getting maybe too many long sleeve shirts, but I already had them and I just don't want to get rid of them. Again, just a variant color of it. I brought a couple shorts with me. I believe the ones that I'm wearing right now, I think they're a little bit too heavy, so I may not take them. But I have another one. I have a pair of black ones right here, which are Adidas. And then I have some swimming trunks that I may use more often and not as shorts than I would as swimming trunks. And then I'm bringing 4 pairs of David Archie underwear. So hopefully I will be able to do laundry because those will start to stink, I'm sure, eventually. And then for warm weather or cold weather again, I have like a little ninja suit that it's all spandex or nylon or something like that. I'm sorry, this is all polyester. So to keep myself warm in the colder temperatures. And then another sweater type of thing. And lastly, I think, oh no, there's some more stuff over here. Like I said, I feel like I brought a ton of stuff for clothing that I may have to cut back on. This one I've had for a long time. It's actually my grandfather's who passed away quite a while ago in the early 2000s. Oddly enough, it still smells like him, so I can't bring myself to wash it. So I'll take that as a good luck charm. Hat, just because that seems pretty. And then I have a swimming shirt because I'm excessively white and I burn pretty easily. So you know, that'll help me when I'm diving or anything. For some reason, and you know, I absolutely love. I don't know about anybody else, but I absolutely love neck gaiters to the point where I have 3 of them. As far as I know, I think I have 3. Thought I had 3. Okay, well, I'm sure the 3rd one is somewhere else. So yeah, neck gaiter, you just put it around your neck, keeps your neck warm, and it's definitely helpful when you have when you're on a motorcycle, because the temperatures can get pretty cold. I'm only going to bring a couple pairs of socks, 2 for like long military type socks. It's for riding the motorcycle, and then when I have time to wear my Saucony tennis shoes, which are right here. Really good ultralight running shoes, by the way. So you should check them out if you're a runner. Anyway, when I'm wearing those, then I'll wear these lightweight Asics. And then I have different types of gloves that I'll be bringing. Again, almost similar to the jackets. I don't want to have just one that does it all, because I'm not sure, you know, of the temperatures that I'm going to be facing. And then I have a baklava as well. Oh, there's the neck gaiter as well. So. And then a baklava just to keep your head completely warm, which gets pretty tight on with the helmet on, motorcycle helmet on. So I'm not too sure if I'll wear that in conjunction with the helmet, but you never know. Temperatures may force me to. And then I have a scarf, which seems a little excessive, but I need something for a pillow, and this may do just fine for me. So those were all the clothes. Oh, with the exception of some sandals. It just seems pretty, just the right choice. Especially if I curve around the Gulf Coast, and I should be at a lot of beach resorts and stuff like that, so I'll definitely need sandals. The first item I can go through for the camping equipment is the Thermarest Neo Air. I've been sleeping on this thing for like the last month and a half maybe, because I sold my bedroom set a while ago, and this thing is absolutely amazing. It takes about 20 breaths to completely fill up, and it's just a wonderful item. Pretty well insulated as well, so it keeps you nice and warm at night. So I look forward to using this a lot down the road. So one of the heavier items that I'll be bringing with me is a Schrade axe. I just think for utility purposes, you know, this will be perfect. It has a little flint on the bottom, which is kind of nice, but I will, you know, inevitably need to cut things like wood for firewood and things like that. So happy to bring this along. I have a microfiber towel and face cloth. If anybody has an REI Quarter Dome 2, they will know how amazing it is. This tent has got more room than I actually anticipated. You know, it's not that heavy either. I think this is it should only be 3 pounds. So it's pretty lightweight, and you know, I'm pretty excited about bringing this thing with me. So to go along with the tent, I had a Nemo salsa, and what I like about the salsas are they're not restrictive on your legs. So when you're sleeping, like most sleeping bags, you know, it gets restrictive on the bottom, and for me personally, it just makes it uncomfortable. So I end up generally just opening opening the entire sleeping bag and sleeping like that. With this, however, it allows you to freely move around and stretch out, and it makes for a lot more comfortable sleep. This also goes down to 15 degrees for temperature, so I think it's a wise purchase. And I have an REI rucksack here with me. I don't want to put too many things in here. My concern is with people being able to steal things off my bike. So I'll try to put everything in the panniers, the storage containers on the side of my bike. But there will be a couple things, possibly the sleeping bag and some clothing, things like that, that I'll stick in here. It'll be upsetting that if it does get stolen, but the items inside won't be that big of a loss and can be easily replaceable. So I previously had a Camelback, but I went with this one instead because it has a lot more padding and comfort in the back, and a lot more storage all over the place. I mean, there's clips that, there's places where you can clip things onto, plus there's just a lot of storage space that's provided to you everywhere. So I'll use this, and I believe the bladder itself was a lot larger than the one I previously had, so happy to pick this one up. So obviously I'll be doing some cooking along the way, so I tried to get one of the most compact cooking sets that I can. So essentially what you have here is two little sections like that. This also comes with a little sponge and a spoon and a little cup and things like that. So pretty basic, and should work. Should work just fine. .550 cord because 550 cord is magic. It has. Toilet paper, pretty self-explanatory. I went with Divine LEDs for a camp light. This thing lights up everything. It's not on right now. It lights up when you pull it out, but you have to insert the batteries first. Yeah, I've used this at night, and it's pretty bright. So to go along with the cookware there, I have a portable stove that I'll be bringing. And what I like about MSR's portable stove is, I have a can opener, fork and spoon. But what I like about this one, the portable stove, is I'll be able to attach it to one of the extra gas containers that I'm bringing with me. So MSR's gas container, the nozzle will fit onto there, and I could use that gasoline instead of having to bring a second fuel source. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring this. I've had this North Face backpack for a long time, and it's so convenient, and there's so many practical uses for this thing on this trip. But I'm hesitant to bring it because I have things like the Camelback that already has storage on there. So I'm not sure. I probably will. If it becomes cumbersome, I can always let it go, just like everything else that I'm bringing with me. So right now it's up in the air. I don't know. I guess it's not up in the air. I'll just bring it. How about that? Problem solved. And then finally, I have Frog Tog's waterproof top and bottom. It's a little bit bulkier than I really want it to be, but that's fine because it's very ultra light. So that the trade-off is just fine with me. I may be good with all the medical equipment that I brought. What I did was I took an old medical pouch and completely gutted it and added my own things. I would love to open this for you, but I know once I do, it'll just completely blow up. But I have things like splints and gauze and different bandages and just a bunch of stuff in here. So if you want a complete list of everything that I brought, just go on to my items list on my website and you should see you should see everything that I brought on that. And then additionally, I have more stuff over here that I couldn't fit into the pouch. So it's things like needles. You know, I've come across situations where I've needed to lance, you know, blisters and things like that. So those will come in handy. Chapstick, aspirin, little face mask, some Band-Aids. I bought quite a few water purification tablets because I guarantee you I'll run into situations where I'll need that. A thermometer. Hopefully I'll never have to use these, but some what's essentially Pepto-Bismol. And then if those don't work, which I really don't want to get into, I have ciprofloxacin, and that's for severe Montezuma's revenge. I'm not looking forward to taking those or being in the situation where I have to take those. And then finally, I have a 9-month supply of malaria pills, which I know for a fact I'll have to be taking those. But so that's all my medical equipment. And if you think I should bring something else, let me know, and I'll be happy to pick that up. There are a bunch of things that I need to bring for the bike, just because, again, it's almost like the clothing where I don't know what type of situation I'm going to be in, so I don't really know what to bring. I feel like for the clothing, those are easier to purchase along the way, whereas the tools and things like that for the bike aren't. So I didn't make a complete list for this. In fact, I didn't make a list at all. I just said a toolkit. But again, I used Cruise Tools toolkit, and then I essentially gutted it and then replaced it with my own stuff. If you really want to know what's in here, just message me, and I'll be happy to make a list for you and take some pictures and show you. But all the things that I couldn't fit within there are also, the rest of the tools are right in this separate pouch right here. So I'm not bringing spare tires. I may have to learn the hard way about this, but for right now, I'm just going to take a tire repair kit. Hopefully that gets me to a point where I can get a new tire. A funnel, just because I may need to put gasoline or oil or something into the bike. I brought this tubing. I think it's 3/4 to maybe an inch tubing, and that's to help me siphon gas if I run into a situation where I run out of gas, and the only way I can get it is through siphoning it. I was recommended this to buy a ballistic performance battery, and after looking at the videos and things like that, I think it's a really good idea. So you essentially only have to keep this charge. You only have to charge it once, and it should retain it. It's a full charge for 3 to 6 months. So this is to help me charge my motorcycle battery. It should allow you to charge other things, like I don't know, whatever you want, cell phone, computer, or anything like that. But I'm going to try to keep this solely for my motorcycle battery, because that's a little bit more important than keeping my camera charged. So that's what I'll be bringing with me. I have 2 K&N oil filters, and the only reason why I'm bringing them is when I do get my oil changed, I like the little divots that they put on top of there. So if I need to actually take it on and off without going to a service station, I'll be able to do so easily. Zip ties, because zip ties, just like 550 cord, can help with a lot of things. Same thing with duct tape. It's a very versatile item to bring. I have an assortment of bungee cords. And then finally, when I go to places and I need to lock up my helmet and jacket and things like that, I will have this cable along with the lock at the bottom, and I can just keep that on top of the bike. Hopefully nobody messes with it. Even if they do, they may have a hard time cutting through there. To my knowledge, I have all of the documentation and paperwork that I need to start my trip. I guess I could go through a couple of them and show you what they're. So there are a few things that I felt like bringing in regards to documentation. You know, things like there were a few things that I thought that I needed to bring. There were several types of documents that I wanted to bring. Some are mandatory, others I think are just good reference material for me. One of the things is the Honda NC700X manual. You know, if I have any issues with the bike, I hopefully can reference that, and that'll help me get through some potentially rough times. This is actually just a blank pad, a blank notepad. My diver logbook, along with my 2 diver cards, nitrox and the regular Nowie. My yellow card, and that essentially has everything, you know, typhoid, yellow fever, all types of stuff. So I have a lot of vaccinations that are documented here. Should allow me into essentially every country. My passport, which is brand new, and then I'm going to be bringing an extra wallet, just in the event that something gets stolen or I need to hide something, or who knows what's going to happen. So the other documentation I have is my motorcycle insurance, and I've made 20 copies of essentially everything. Another copies of my passport, my driver's license, and then the registration for my bike. Pens, pencil, I think there's 1 pencil there, and an eraser. Again, another notepad. And personally, no trip is complete without bringing some type of book. So right now I'm reading Verdun 1916, and once I'm done with that, I have no doubt that I'll pick something else along the way. My hygiene kit shouldn't be too out of the ordinary. In fact, it's not at all. I have 2 toothbrushes, you know, deodorant. This is all basic things. A razor, some suntan lotion, regular lotion, bars of soap, a little mirror, comb, toothpaste, hair gel. I think I also brought nail clippers, tweezers for splinters, things like that. You know, pretty common stuff to bring with you. So lastly, I have all of my electronics and just miscellaneous crap that I guess I could organize into another pile. But we'll just get started here. So what I'm recording on right now, and I'll be bringing with me, is a Nikon D5500. I attached a Rode shotgun microphone onto the top of it to allow me to capture better volume. And then I have an Amazon Basic tripod that is mounting the camera. I also went with Amazon Basics camera bag because I have a couple of lenses that I'll be bringing with me. It's a little bit bulkier than I really like it to be, and I'll probably have to put this in the front storage container of my bike, but we'll see as time goes on and I start packing everything and seeing how everything fits. I've never been a fan, but I feel like maybe I need to become one of those people, and that is a person with a selfie stick. I'm sure I'll run into situations where I can't bring the Nikon, but I can bring my GoPro, so the selfie stick will come in handy. So this is kind of unique, and I'm only bringing it because it came with my phone, and that is a VR headset. I have Google's new phone, and I chose to go with this because Google allows you to do international calling, so I didn't have to get a separate plan. And so far, using it has been wonderful. So hopefully it stays like that in other countries that I go to. For the trip, everything is about being ultralight. So a computer is no different. I went with a Dell XPS 13. It's about, I think it's less than 1.5 pounds. So very light and very thin, compact. It should do me quite nice. It's a very nice computer. I have a couple GoPros. I bought 2 GoPros, one that I can mount to my helmet, and then one for the selfie stick or whatever. I'll see as time goes on. But what I like about the GoPro is that you're able to mount it to your helmet. However, I was a little bit hesitant to actually putting the adhesive onto it because really the shape of the helmet, I had no other option other than to put it on the top, and I really didn't want to do that. Not only the drag, but it always looks weird to me. So I found ProShot. They're based out of Florida. The guy's name is George that runs the thing. It's actually a really nice guy. I ended up calling him and ordering one of these. What it does is it mounts onto there, and then you're getting a better angle through the camera, so it sees exactly what you're saying. It's essentially from your point of view. So I think it'll be a unique way to record the trip as I go along. I had an older iPod, which I love. The older ones are the best, not only for storage. I just think that interface is a lot easier to use than the newer ones. But I broke down because this one's lighter. So this is one of the newer iPods, and that'll do just fine for all of my music. This is actually pretty interesting, and it's no different from the Ballistic battery pack. It's just a smaller source of power. So you charge this up, and then it's essentially just a battery that you can use to charge up any of your electronics. Different types of plugs for the different countries that I'll be going into. The GoPro head mount. My sunglasses, which I think I just threw in that pile. Just a bunch of wires and shit. Let's see here. Couple thumb drives. I know I have more in my camera bag, which I guess I can throw that there. Couple batteries, because I have that lantern that I'm bringing, and I just may need some batteries along the way. And then I have a tablet as well, and that's more for reading and not really watching movies, mainly just reading books and magazines and stuff like that. I have a pair of goggles, which clearly I've never used. I've actually had these for going on 10 plus years now. I may just give them away along the way, but they are great. I would open them up, but since they're brand new, I don't want to open it up and take out the wrapping and stuff like that. So yeah, if I'm in a desert situation and I need a pair of goggles instead of the helmet because it's just too hot, then I'll wear these if need be. But I also have a pair of alternate riding sunglasses, so these will help during nighttime. A mosquito net for my head, which I know for a fact I'll have to use. Some parts of the world get pretty bad in regards to mosquitoes. This is a 2 terabyte external hard drive, and I'll store all of my videos and pictures on that. Insect repellent, can never have enough of that. This is actually kind of nice, and it's a speaker that you could attach to essentially anything. I put it on my iPhone, but it pops up and you turn the power on, And this thing, once fully charged, I mean, it stays charged for quite a number of hours. I've had this thing on for like 8 straight hours, and it's ran all the way through without running out of juice. So I'm pretty happy to bring that. I don't know. I think this is just excess stuff I didn't want to get rid of, but I thought was cool enough to bring. It's 2 hacky sacks. I've had these since I was a teenager, and I thought it may just be like a cool way to bond with people that I meet along the way, or playing hacky sack with some kids or something. I don't know, instead of like soccer or football. Swiss Army knife. I really could care less about this. It's more as just like a trade item, like just try to give it away as a good gesture. I had a ring, same type of deal, and then a flint, which I guess I don't really need to take since that Schrade axe has a flint, but it fits in here okay, so I'll probably just take it. Carabiners. It looks like a lot, like it would be heavy, but it's pretty lightweight. Carabiners is just great for a lot of reasons. Brought a lot of extra plastic bags because I'm not sure what I would have to store, to keep things dry or whatever. Baby wipes. This is one of those hidden wallets that you can just hide underneath your clothing, so nobody will steal your wallet. I have a Gerber with me, which this is probably more of a giveaway as well. Not because it's not good. It weighs a ton, a lot more than I want it to, and I think I just have so many other tools that this actually just essentially becomes obsolete. One thing that's very important to me is my hearing. So what I ended up doing was buying a ton of earplugs. So these are doubled up per container. So I have eight sets of earplugs I'll be bringing with me. This is actually pretty cool. It's a Tesla electric lighter. So it does a little electric arc, which is really nice, and it stays charged for a long time, which is also good. Q-tips, insect repellent, an alternate form of insect repellent again. A knife. This is like a little wrist wallet kind of thing where you could like store like some money and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I bought it just to have it. I'm not sure if I'll ever use it. And then, what is this? Oh yeah, so I have a headlamp and then a couple other flashlights. There's actually 2 flashlights in here. There's just a few more things. I had it. What I'm very happy about is I finally got a set of binoculars. For years, I always wanted them, and I keep saying that oh my God, I need to pick a pair up. Never did, so somebody finally bought me a pair, and I'm very thankful. These are Osprey, by the way. 2 different types of knives. This one's very sharp and lightweight. I really like it. This one, on the other hand, I bought it like 20-something years ago. I had gone to Yellowstone, and I felt like I needed to be, survivalist. So I bought a knife. Never used it once, and I've had it around my house for forever. So I thought I'd bring it along, and maybe I could give it to somebody. It's one of those secret wallets that you put underneath your clothing, and you can store whatever you want in there. A sewing kit, an additional poncho, my Norelco beard trimmer. So I have a couple things that are supposed to protect me. One are a set of 5 that my cousin got me, which are little Mexican worry dolls, and they will protect me along the way. And then I have a coin for St. Christopher, which is the patron saint of traveling, which was also given to me. A couple more lighters, I bought this. It's another storage thing for money. You're supposed to put it around your ankle or wrist, and I'm not sure if I'll ever use it, but I have it just in case. And the last two things are some business cards. Somebody suggested that, and I originally said no, but now that I put some thought into it, so thought it was actually a pretty good idea. So I made 500. They're not too heavy, so it just has the logo and things like that. So I can hand them out to people as I go along, so they know to to remind them to go on the website and check out what I'm doing. And then lastly, I picked this up in Iceland a couple of years ago, and it's Icelandic moss. I don't know what you do with it, and I keep meaning to try it. You're supposed to use it as like hell, I don't even know. You use it as like a drink, or you eat it or something. I keep meaning to do it, but I never do, and I always forget about it. But hopefully, if I bring it along this trip, then I'll be reminded to actually use it. And that should be everything. So I know it was a little bit more extensive than you probably expected, and but I hope this helped you out to give you a better idea of what I'm actually bringing with me, and this may help those that want to go on a similar journey. So, all right, we'll see you next time.